Hi, this is Get Real with Chris and Mark. I'm Chris Hill, and this is Mark Frisco.
All right. Well, thanks for the introduction, Chris. We got a local tasting today, right? Like, I am so excited. Miss Gwyn Novak is here from No Thyme to Cook, one of my dear friends. I absolutely love your establishment. I love everything that you do. I can't even express. I don't even know how many date nights I've been on at your place, at your house back in the day.
That's right.
By the way, those were my favorite. I know they're never going to come back, but those were my favorite. But yeah, so tell us a little bit about what you do, Gwyn.
Yeah, well, thank you guys so much for having me. So No Thyme to Cook is primarily about recreational cooking classes. We like to create community through unique culinary experiences. So we have a wide array of open to the public cooking classes, hands-on, fresh pasta, sushi, Spanish tapas, Chinese takeout. We also do date nights, as you well know, yes. Mark. We do mixology classes. We also do a ton of private cooking classes. They're great for corporate team building. And then we do just, you name it, really, these days. Like COVID sort of, added to the repertoire. So we do murder mystery dinner parties.
Fun.
We do, we're going to talk a lot more probably about farm to table, because I brought a lot of local stuff for you guys to try today.
That's awesome.
We started offering culinary tours right before COVID. We were in Normandy, France, from Normandy to Smith Island.
Wow.
Next year we're headed to Oktoberfest in Munich. So a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
It's fun and foodie. We are, for those of you guys who don't know, we are right on the harbor in Solomon's Island. And that
beautiful
piece
spot.
Of property, it didn't happen by accident. My great-grandfather bought that property 104 years ago.
Wow.
And he
That's
started
so cool.
Bowen's Inn as a restaurant, bar, hotel, and marina. My grandmother took over after he passed. My aunt bought it from her when she retired, and then the original restaurant burned down in 2006 with the Lighthouse restaurant.
Yep.
And so we kept this piece of property and built this building, very reminiscent of my grandmother's house, and so that makes me the fourth generation in our family to have a food service business
cool.
there.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It is.
So you do. It sounds like you do a little bit of everything now. Like it's like.
So
And
yeah.
the cocktails are amazing out there. The view is awesome. There's a little beach down the bottom.
So
Yep.
cool.
Yep.
Really
Yep.
cool.
Speaking of cocktails, would you guys like me to make you our signature drink?
Yes.
It's called It Just Gets Better with Time. And I know that you are partial to bourbons.
Okay.
So I am
Okay.
as well. So
I guess we got a reputation now, Mark.
Right?
I don't know what it is.
So we're going
I'll
to
accept
start
it.
with 2
Me too.
ounces per. I'll make it. Well, you guys, you're here for the
Yeah.
duration, right? Okay. So this was actually a drink created for us by our mixologist, Brooke Brown Fritz, with Top Shelf Mixology. It has a combination of 2 ounces of thyme simple syrup and 2 ounces of honey simple syrup.
Nice.
I know, because we can't do anything without a little bit of thyme, right?
That's
and then
right.
I'm going to add a couple drops of bitters, 3 per, and we're going to give a little shake.
Simple enough.
I know.
Right? I got you the big ice cubes.
Back to the same thing. It's the smell. I get it first, right here. I don't know what it is. The smell. It hit me right away. It's so good.
All right, and then we garnish these guys with a fresh lemon wedge and a sprig of thyme.
Nice.
And
Awesome.
see what you think. I hope you like it.
All right, here we go, Mark.
Here we go.
Wow.
Wow. That's excellent.
Oh my gosh.
It's like the perfect
That's
amount
delicious.
Thank you. You
Boozy
really mean
and
it
sweet
too,
at the
right?
same
I
time.
I do.
That's awesome.
It's nice because people tend to think bourbon is only a winter drink, but this sort of allows you to play
Puts a little
the
summer
edges
touch
of-
on it.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It feels like, you could, middle of summer. It's nice and refreshing,
Yep,
right?
Yep. You kind of have that wooziness of the thyme, but you have that brightness of the lemon against
I was
that
going to say, it's
smokiness of the
amazing
bourbon.
what that little bit of fresh thyme does in there.
It is. Yeah, it's pretty cool. You can smell it. I can smell the drink when you put it together, but I mean, that is so delicious.
Yeah. Thank you.
And smooth. And
Thank you.
I like it.
Yeah, this could be dangerous, though.
Yes, it can.
Here's the beauty of this is this was very reminiscent of one of her classes. So, she kind of makes some stuff and tells you what she's doing, and then you get to try it.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people kind of get worried or turned off that it's going to be like super hands-on, like I'm going to have to roll out some dough. And Doesn't mean that it's not, because there is opportunities for that.
Right.
But most of it is like more you teaching, and it's kind of like watching a live cooking show. Imagine if you were sitting in Emerald's kitchen,
and just right there in front of you.
Exactly, and then you get to eat and try everything as it all comes out, which is awesome.
That's a good point that you make, though, because a lot of times my initial perception was that there's this big class going on of learning how to make something, but it sounds like you have so many other opportunities.
We really
do.
And so when you decide you want to come to a cooking class, you can choose between hands-on or demonstration.
Right.
If you'd rather just sit and watch us cook and learn and eat, you always eat. That's always an option. Just look on the website on what kind it is. But even if it is a hands-on class, we have people all the time who one spouse will drag the other person.
Right.
That sounds terrible. But they leave telling me this was the best night they've had in the longest time. You learn something new,
that's awesome.
and but if you really don't want to cook, you can just sit and watch
too. It's
too.
so different than anything that you do. That's what's so great about it.
Well, interactive eating is kind of a thing, right? Like, I mean, it's kind of like it being a part of it makes it that much better, I think. Just even if you're just watching someone doing it, it's like going to you go to a restaurant and you see them prepare your food as opposed to it being hidden in a kitchen behind you somewhere.
Yeah.
I
think it
love
makes it that much more enjoyable too.
Yeah.
In which case, I will tell you, the other beautiful part is that everything that Gwyn does is amazing. So, literally, this drink
really
is just
good.
the start. The food is equally as good, if not better.
Gwyn, it really is really, really good.
It's funny. I feel like this somehow turned into like a commercial for
I
Gwyn.
I know.
But I am genuinely, honestly telling you all this because I think that everything that she does is awesome.
So total transparency. I told you I've been sucking down cough drops, and I thought it would really interfere with this drink, but it's like I got the lemon honey cough drops, so it's kind of perfect.
You were already teed up.
I was teed up, right? I was ready for it.
Well, I couldn't just bring you a cocktail and not bring you something to eat as well. And one of the things that I and my team are really passionate about is supporting local. The whole, eat local, support your farmers kind of movement that's been popular for quite a long time. But we have such an amazing array of people in Southern Maryland, who do just phenomenal things. And so, with the exception of 2 ingredients, absolutely everything in what you're getting ready to eat is locally sourced. Wow. I mean the salt.
Wow.
So what I've created for you is just kind of a fun dish.
Oh boy.
Awesome.
It is fresh, locally farm-raised oysters from 38 North down here in southern St. Mary's. We have some local mushrooms from Chesapeake Bounty. The bread was intended to be from Enzo's, but my yellow lab, Shelly, got into it, so you can start that. The salt is from a mine in West Virginia. The wine in this is from Port of Leonardtown, their new Chardonnay. The cream is from a creamery in Frederick, Maryland. The butter is from the Eastern Shore. Yeah, it's. I just wanted you to taste it. So
I know. I'm loving it so far.
It might not be quite as warm as I would like it at this point, but
I'm getting rid of my cough drop.
You'll get the flavors.
Yeah, you might.
You'll get the flavors. And again, we do a pop-up farm-to-table dinner once a month, and so the menu changes every month, and it's completely based on what is seasonally and locally available. Okay?
That's awesome.
Right?
Come on.
We're so spoiled, Chris.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
That is honestly, so delicious.
Yeah.
Really.
Thank you.
Yeah. This was worth us coming up with this whole idea doing this.
Yeah, I know, right?
Right. Seriously.
I'm sorry I missed you guys a couple of weeks ago, but we're actually looking at doing something new and different. We had a food truck. We're getting ready to swap that out because we have, if you've never been to No Thyme, we have 2 floors of kitchens because we often have classes going on the first and second floor at the same time. The 3rd floor, we created what we call the Chef's Loft. So it's an Airbnb, so you can stay with us, and it is probably one of the most spectacular views in Solomon's. And you can take a class with us and then stumble back upstairs. But
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we're actually looking at adding to our Airbnb and doing a boat. And doing
that's
sort
smart.
of like
That's pretty
a
cool.
I've wondered if there were any of those in Solomon's already because there's just so many boats docked down there.
Yeah.
I always thought that would be a really good idea of Airbnb.
Yeah, I've never heard.
boat.
You don't hear of many of them, I don't think.
No.
I mean, this is amazing. the oysters are really good.
Right.
Everything in here is good.
Everything's really good, and I got the. Yeah, that's it. Just.
I'm trying to not be rude and like
Yeah,
house
No,
this.
I know. What am I
Well,
supposed to do? I got to eat it.
One of the other fun things that we do, we have a culinary book club. It's called Literary Bites, and we meet every other month, and we pick not a cookbook, but a work of fiction or nonfiction that really sort of speaks to us and about food. And so this month it was Animal Vegetable Miracle by Barbara Kingsolver, and it's all about the locavore movement. And one of the stats in that book was that if each one of us would just eat one locally sourced meal a week, we could save, I think it's 1.1 billion gallons of petroleum a week.
Whoa.
A week.
A week.
That's
Isn't
crazy.
that outstanding? I mean,
Yeah,
I think
it's
people
crazy.
think, it's such a big issue and what can I do about it? Go to your farmer's market.
That's
Go
it.
Eat one local meal a week.
I pride myself on going to the local farmer's market. I mean, the produce is always better.
Yep.
Yep.
There's no question about it. No matter what you're getting, it's always better.
Yeah,
And
it really is. And you're supporting your neighbors.
Yeah.
I mean, the people that your kids go to school with, that you sell property to, that you go to church with.
Right.
On average, our food travels 1,500 miles from its
That's insane.
origin to your dinner
Yeah.
plate. And, the quality is,
It's not the
a
same.
tomato picked
Right.
1,500
There's
miles
no
away.
comparison.
There is no comparison.
None at all.
Yeah.
And that's
That's
the
amazing.
example.
Absolutely.
I love the farm to table.
Oh, me too.
know,
We talked about
but-
that before
Yes.
when we
It's
first
amazing.
got
I
here.
think there needs to be more of that.
Yeah,
I
me
think
too.
that the restaurants in our area could do more of that.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, where the costs are, and that's not my world, but I just feel like there's so much opportunity for that.
Yep.
And as I've always said, I feel like Southern Maryland has just a great opportunity with its farms and aquaculture and what we can do here.
Yep.
I think we barely scratched the surface of what we
No,
can
I
do.
agree with you, and then that gets into that whole when we talked about aquaculture and things like that
Yeah.
early on. I mean, this is an opportunity, I think, for
Right.
this.
Doing just this.
I mean, this is fantastic for real.
Thank
I mean,
you.
that is it's and that's what you get, right? When you source locally.
Well, that's the thing. You don't have to have a lot of crazy ingredients.
Right.
You just buy great ingredients and
have
let
another
them
bite.
speak for themselves, right? Treat
Oh,
them
you
with
think I'm
respect.
going to let that
and-
sit there? I'm going to eat it, Mark. You know I am.
I'm like waiting for us to get off camera.
Yeah, I know. You think I wasn't thinking the same thing? I'm like, the first time we're off cameras, I'm going to be shoving that bread in my mouth, right? It's so good. It's creamy, and the oysters and the mushrooms. I mean, like,
Yeah.
Local. Every
Yeah,
single
the
I didn't even know we
natural
had
ingredient.
local mushrooms.
I didn't know it either.
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lots of varieties, too.
Chesapeake's Bounty is just
That's
a
exactly where I got
great
them.
spot for that stuff.
Yeah, Will does a phenomenal job. He is
Yep.
passionate
And
about
I'll be honest,
local
we don't
sourcing.
go there enough. So
Yeah.
I don't know if my wife listens to these podcasts, but we
Ah.
need to go there more often.
And there are a lot of great CSAs too. Community-supported agricultural groups that, if you don't have time, they will deliver it to your door.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
When you taste something like this, and you know that everything's essentially local, it makes the dish better too. I think
Absolutely.
it's something about it. Like you just
Yeah.
know that it's all something.
Awesome.
Yeah, it is.
So how can folks get a hold of you? How can they check you out?
Yeah, go to our website. It's the best way, notymetocook.com. And of course, thyme is spelled like the herb, Thyme. Always follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And yeah,
so exciting.
subscribe to our newsletter. That's really the best way to get the latest and greatest of what's
I have
happening.
to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't done it.
Do
so I
it
have to
for
do
sure.
Yeah, I know I have to do it now.
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't even know there was a newsletter, so now I do.
Well, thank you so much for the
Yes.
tasting,
My
and thank you
pleasure.
so much for all the great things that you do.
You're sweet.
Because you honestly, I don't know if you know this or realize this, but you truly are an inspiration to many. One of my other hats, Chris, is
Right.
big with the Calvert Chamber, and Gwyn is pretty active over there and fairly active in a bunch of different networking groups all around Southern Maryland,
Yeah.
and she truly is an inspiration. So
That's awesome.
You're sweet.
Thank you.
I mean, I really feel like we all work better if we work together.
Yeah.
So
Into that.
yeah.
And that's why we're excited to bring people in here and hear the stories and understand what it is. It's just so exciting, and everybody has there's such a neat story for everybody. But I love what you're doing over there.
Thank you.
It's
Thank
exciting.
you.
I can't
Come
wait
see
to
us.
get over there.
Come see
Thanks
us.
so much.
All right.
Cool.